Next week we are in May, and there are so many bangers for the month of May, as well as some games that I found during the research for this video that looks interesting. I have a total of 14 games, hopefully you have a few here that you didn't know existed. Let's get to the games. First up is Indika. This is one of the games I am looking forward to the most this year outside of AAA games. The demo really wasn't what I expected in a good way, and the story is the part of the game that I'm most interested in. The gameplay seems fine. Indika is a story-driven adventure game where you play as the nun Indika. The thing that is interesting here is that the devil is with you and talks to you. The whole premise to me intrigues me, and they had some interesting interactions during the demo. I strongly recommend the demo or watch my video of it if you want to see more of what this game is all about. The developer is Oddmeter. Release is planned for May 2nd. Abiotic Factor is a survival crafting game. Personally, not the genre I like the most, but this one looks fun. This takes place deep underground in a research facility. I get some major Half-Life 1 vibes here. There are several realms creating chaos while you are trying to survive in the game. I love the subtle humor in the game, and the game kind of looks cozy and at the same time kind of haunting. This one drops into early access in May and plans to stay there for about 8 to 12 months. It can also be played in 6-player co-op. This one is developed by Deep Field Games. Release is also planned for 2nd of May. Then we have Venture into the Vile. Looks cute and cool. This is a Metroidvania that takes place in the town of Rainybrook that have been taken over by the Vile. You of course fight bosses, but here you can also absorb their powers to use yourself. You of course have to help the town and the townfolks in it, and uncover the clues to help you find your lost friend. The game will change dynamically from day to night, the weather, the monsters you meet, quests and items. There will always be something new to explore and discover in the game. This one is developed by Studio Cut to Bits. Release is planned for 7th of May. Heading Out. This one looks really cool. This one definitely fights for the most unique art style on this list with one other game. This is a driving adventure game. You're driving through the USA and you choose your own paths, meet different characters, trigger different events. It looks like the game has a bit of roguelike feel to it, as you probably want to play this game multiple times. You seem to do some racing in it as well, escape from the police. I bet there are a lot of things that can happen in the game. And as I mentioned, the aesthetics is really cool, very unique. This one is developed by Serious Sim. Release is planned for 7th of May as well. Then we have Gatekeeper. This is one of the roguelites I had on my list for this year to look forward to. In Gatekeeper, you are on a quest to save the heart of the universe. The game's aesthetic reminds me a lot of Risk of Rain 2, some of the systems in the game as well. You can play this with up to 3 friends, and there seems to be a lot of build potential here. There are several characters with abilities, and you also gain a lot of skills when you level up. There are also over 100 different items that affect each run. I just hope there's enough variety in the maps and enemies as well. Otherwise, it sounds like the game has all the elements to make a good roguelike. This one is developed by Gravity Lagoon. Release is planned for 10th of May. Paper Trail. I just love me a good puzzle game from time to time. And this one looks really unique and fun. Here you help Paige on her adventure as she's leaving home for the first time and pursuing her studies. The game will start you off easy with folding and joining pages, but will later have you contorting, spinning and twisting the pages. The art style is beautiful and really makes the game stand out. Can't wait for this one. This one is developed by Newfangled Games. Release is planned for 21st of May. Gestalt, Steam and Cinder. This one is a Metroidvania set in a steampunk universe. You are an elite mercenary who is trying to discover the secret of the steam city of Canaan. This is a city that is full of corruption and is hiding a dark secret below. The game has some gorgeous pixel graphics with some lovely vibrant colors. The combat looks good as well with both melee and gunplay, as you have one of each weapon in hand. I also had this one on my list for upcoming Metroidvania games this year. This one is developed by Metamorphosis Games. Release is planned for 21st of May. Song of Silence. This one looks great as well. Probably one of the strategy games I'm looking forward to the most this year. It feels like a smaller version of the Total War series. Same goes for the combat scenarios. Here you also place your troops, but they seem to act on their own. There are also cards you can play outside and inside of combat. I haven't tried the demo for this game. Games I'm definitely gonna play, I don't want to spoil for myself, so I'm skipping the demo. The game have multiple factions and puts a big focus on the story. I really thought this game was gonna have its full release in May, but it will be released into early access. It have also done a Kickstarter run, but at least it looks like it's only gonna stay in early access for 4 to 5 months. This one is developed by Chimera Entertainment. Early access release is planned for 23rd of May. Haunty. This is the game that is the second contender for the most interesting art style. Like, it's so distinct, like this is so cool. I just love when games are taking a chance with their art style. This is a twin-stick action-adventure game where you play as a ghost in a quest for answers as a mysterious race known as Turnians guides lost souls to an ominous tower. They look like angels, but are they? As a ghost, you can control both creatures and the environment, so you'll have some interesting puzzles. As I mentioned, it's also a twin-stick shooter, so hopefully some good combat as well. Developed by Moonloop Games, release is planned for 23rd of May. Esports Godfather. Here you are the mastermind behind an esports team. You take the role of the coach and build up your own team from scratch. The game within the game have a constantly evolving meta, which means you have to adapt and choose strategies to be able to win. You can also direct the players on your team with cards, set up training plans, recruit players, inspire them and prepare them and watch them grow. I like the look of the game, hope it's balanced well, and does it get repetitive? That's my biggest worry here, but otherwise I think this looks like a really cool sim game. Developed by Asteroid Game Studio, release is planned for 24th of May. Rus II is a cool strategy game. It's kind of a unique strategy simulation game. You take control over giants to shape the world and create resources for the humans to thrive. I really like the first game, and the second seems to evolve the series in a good way. Here you have 6 giants with unique abilities and ways to interact with the planet, shape it, same with the plants and animals, and help the humans evolve from a small tribe to an advanced civilization. A very chill game with a pleasant vibe and not too complicated. The first one wasn't that, at least. Developed by Abiotic Games, release is planned for 28th of May. Capes is a turn-based combat game. In this game, the supervillains won and have over 20 years created a dystopian city. It's finally time to recruit a team and take back the city. The game have a ton of heroes in order to do this, with different powers and abilities. As you play, you level them up, get access to new and better abilities and powerful upgrades. The game seems to be played over a series of campaigns and patrol missions. There are also a lot of different side quests to learn more about your heroes. Feels a bit like Midnight Suns to me, except you don't have cards here. I always like a new twist on superheroes and supervillains, so hopefully this can do well. This one is developed by Spitfire Interactive, release is planned for 24th of May. Then we have 9 Souls. This is a 2D adventure game that describes itself as having a Sekiro-light combat system. This means fast combat where deflecting is key and finding the right time to strike. As you make your way through the game, you will meet interesting characters, receive upgrades, gain new abilities, and discover useful technology. The game looks great and has hand-drawn environments and animations. The game also features manga-inspired cutscenes that, combined with fast-paced combat, I mean, this should be an instant hit. This one is developed by Red Kennel Games, release is planned for 29th of May. Cybercop. This looks like a good twin-stick shooter, no bullshit, just a lot of action. Here you play as a cybercop from a newly created private military corporation in order to combat the criminal syndicates that have taken control of a few districts in Omni City. This is a fast-paced game that can be played in co-op if you want to. You can of course upgrade your equipment, you have weapons and armor enhancements. The game is played in a procedurally generated levels where enemies, loot, encounters, weather, bosses and rewards all are randomized for each run. Developed by Me Game, release is planned for May. No specific date for this one yet, unfortunately. Those are the most interesting indie games I found for May. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a comment if I missed any great indie games releasing in May. Otherwise, have a great day and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.